You good to go?
I'm
Good to
I'm
get
ready. I'm ready.
started.
Let's rock and roll.
Fabulous. So thanks for coming, everybody. We'll start with a little bit of our agenda today. We'll start with introductions of myself and Nathan. We'll, of course, the main event. We'll talk about the IT Autopilot that you come for. Nathan will be presenting a live demo to show you some of the capabilities and talk about what makes IT Autopilot unique. So we will move on to the next slide for introductions. So nice to meet everybody. I am Yoni. I am an enterprise customer success manager here at Atera. Very excited to be here co-hosting the webinar. We've got Nathan,
Thank you,
manage
Yoni.
the plan.
Nathan Rickman, I'm a senior account manager here at Atera. Yeah, I've done a couple of webinars and they've always been very enjoyable. So please keep the questions coming, and looking forward to presenting today.
Fantastic. Just a few housekeeping items. So we'll be recording this, of course, and this will be shared with you at the end of the webinar. So no need to take notes. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. And we will. We also please invite you to type questions in the Q&A window. That is next to the chat, right? So like, don't use the chat for questions. If you have questions, there's a Q&A, and I will attempt to get to all of your questions. And if we don't, then we'll be following up with all of your questions. And don't worry, you'll get answers. And of course, at the end of the webinar, there will be a very short survey, which will be very important for you to fill out so that you could potentially, set up your own personal demo after you see the capabilities. So please make sure to fill that out at the end. We really want to see your responses. Next, before we jump into our IT Autopilot and demo, just two quick polls that we'd love to start with. So first poll is live now, and we would love to hear from you. Are you using AI? How are you using AI in your day-to-day? So if you could just fill that out so we can
While
get
they're
an
filling it out, I have
understanding.
to give a little bit of I would say my own usage besides obviously the Atera Autopilot. I've found that having the AI, and particularly Google Gemini, has been an amazing tool for my work product. So for email generation, for brainstorming, for preparing slides, for reviewing deals, for working on things. Then also, it's funny, my children have also embraced various AI tools for their homework, and it's cool to see how it moves and how it's been useful. So I guess it looks like
Absolutely.
that a lot of people
Like
are
we
using.
might have expected today, we have a majority of our votes. Yes, you cannot live without it. Well, you're in the right place because we can't live without it here either anymore. At Atera, it's exciting. So we are ready to see that. A few of you sometimes, and very low votes for not yet, but wanting to. So everybody here is in the right place. Let's one more poll before we jump in. Is it live now? Can we see it? Yes. So which one of these tasks takes up most of your time? We've got a few different examples. If you can just vote on those, and we will share some of the results with you as well. So far, leading the pack, handling repetitive and manual tier 1 support tasks, which is what we're here for today. So that you've come to the right place. Absolutely. We've got a couple votes for managing too many different IT tools, a couple votes for user frustration and poor end user experience. But it looks like taking the cake with a majority of votes, almost all of them, and it's just ticking up as we go, is handling repetitive manual tier 1 support tasks.
Right.
Very
I always
insightful,
like I
very
always like I
helpful.
always like to think that those are the tasks that you were definitely not thought about when you decide to become an IT professional. Oh, I love doing those things. I'm going to do them again and again and again every day. So it's definitely good with the autopilot, and we'll see how we can help with that.
All right. Fantastic. We're gonna end those polls, and we're going to get going. So, Nathan, take it away.
Okay, cool. So thank you, Yanni. So what is autonomous IT? So one of the vantage points of Atera being a multinational company with customers on the four corners of the earth, we have a lot of information, a lot of understanding, and read a lot of reports. So we we can identify that 76% of companies have a suffer shortage of IT talents. There's just not enough hands doing the job. And in turn, there's a growth of just under 20% of tickets year on year. So not just do we not have enough people working today in our IT department, we also not going to have enough people next year, and only the load is getting bigger. And that has a cost. It has a cost on two major areas of the cost areas. One is the IT professionals' time. Again, IT professionals aren't employed to fix printers or to reset passwords. They're to run projects and more sophisticated and company-wide issues. So that's the one cost, and that's coupled with the downtime of the other employees. So if someone from accounting or a lawyer or a salesperson or anybody, perhaps someone working on the front desk has an issue, the time they're not able to do their work, that is costing organizations an awful amount of money. So we brought to the market two options, two tools that together work in this wonderful Atera Complete environment with the core product. So we have the AI Copilot, which we released last year. And as its name would imply, it is really a copilot, an assistant for the technician. It allows the technician to run diagnostics on machines, to understand tickets, to respond to tickets, to write knowledge-based articles, even some scripting. And really what it does a lot of the legwork for the technician, allowing the technician to do something which for many technicians is almost impossible, to run from a ticket from A to Z and complete the ticket when they're finished. We saw that massive success with the AI Copilot, and the brains here at Atera decided, okay, what's the next product we can bring to the market? And one of the issues which we just spoke about in the previous slide was the shortage of IT professionals. So what can we do? So we brought to the market the IT Autopilot. And what the IT Autopilot is a 24/7 digital technician. So what our early adopter clients have found is that we've grown the IT department and it now has a new cohort of workers. You have the human tier one technicians and you have the digital tier one technicians. Or what it really becomes is the digital are the tier one technicians and the human technicians become tier 2 plus. And obviously the benefits of the 24/7 digital technician is that it's there all day, every day, no sick days, no nights, no different time zones, and is also able to respond to every single person simultaneously, which obviously one of the limitations of a human technician is they can generally do one job at a time, or perhaps two. So real-time personal IT technician for every employee, always on, always available, no vacations, smarter than a chatbot or a batbot, and built to solve. So for the end users, no more time waiting for IT support to get back to you, get instant answers, and fix issues on your own anytime. I had a client that I met on Monday, and he told me that his experience with the autopilot was so good that he found it funny that he only realized that there were certain tickets that came into his ticket chain when he looked inside the tickets and saw they were closed because his end users had been able to solve the tickets from A to Z without needing to reach out to a human technician. For the IT team, it stops wasting time on soul-crushing repetitive tasks and focus on the projects that matter. So we're moving the IT team forward, allowing them to do more sophisticated, complex, enjoyable work. And then for the organization, like I said, it just cuts down the costs without cutting quality. It scales the IT support without hiring more people and increase satisfaction across the organization. An interesting side point that we saw after we released the autopilot, that people ask more questions when they're asking the 24/7 digital technician because they're not embarrassed. They don't feel silly asking the questions. And therefore, that results in a healthier IT stack across an organization because the questions are being asked. So what makes the IT Autopilot so unique? So it's the first and only natively AI agent for autonomous IT, and it cuts around 20% of tier one tickets, but more importantly, it's 100% of IT headaches. So it really gives a lot of peace of mind. Another anecdote that I heard when I was discussing this with a client in the UK, he was telling me that he was in the gym after work, is on the treadmill doing some run, and an email came in, a ticket came in from someone very senior in his organization. So what does he do? He was the only IT professional in the company. He's in the middle of a workout, but someone very senior at work needs some assistance. So he was forced to stop his workout and to solve the issue. This type of incursion into our work life can be solved by the autopilot. So it's scalable, customizable, and ultimately boundless. So let me jump into the demo and show you a little bit of what it looks like. Okay, so the 24/7 digital technician can be accessed from three major areas. One, via email. The user will send in an email to a dedicated email address, and the response will come from the 24/7 digital technician, and there will be a ping pong via email. Also, it can work with either Teams or Slack in the communications channel, where you can, again, have the questions coming backwards and forwards. Or the third is through here, the help desk support, which is a web-based portal where you're able to have interactions. So really, what the other very strong value points of the 24/7 digital technician is that it touches your users where they're used to communicating. So if they prefer to communicate via email, they can do that. Via Teams or Slack, they can do that. And if they feel comfortable coming into the help desk portal, they're able to do that as well. So we're not looking to change habits, but rather we're looking to maximize the value that people can have from this. So in this example, I am Max. I'm using Maxwell's desktop, and my AI assistant is called Eve. Now, before I get into three use case examples, the 24/7 digital technician has a brain, has a knowledge. Now, where does that knowledge from? It comes two major areas. The first is the corpus of the Atera IT knowledge base of a tier one technician that we've built over all these years, and that is pure IT tier one technician support and help. And the second one is company specific, which is built off two sources. The first is knowledge base. So if you have a knowledge base within your Atera core environment, it's able to use that information as knowledge, and we'll see some examples of that in a moment. And the second area where the 24/7 digital technician is able to bring knowledge is through tickets. So if there's a ticket has solved a certain issue, the answer to that ticket now gets taken into the knowledge base of the autopilot, and therefore it grows in its knowledge and its capabilities. So not just from day one do you receive a fully mature and capable tier one digital technician, but rather every day of usage, it learns and grows and becomes more and more efficient and capable. Okay, great. So I'm going to show you three examples now, which I love to talk about. The first one is, if we imagine the scene, so I was dealing with an accountant, and obviously Wi-Fi security is a very important topic, and they told me they have two Wi-Fi's in the office, as a lot of organizations do. The first one is for the regular employees, and the second one is for guests. So he said to me, he was having a meeting, senior partner having a meeting, and the client came in and said, I need to show you something, but it's saved in the cloud. What's the Wi-Fi password? He's like, I don't know. So they reached out to IT, and by the time they got the answer, it was about a 5-10 minute ordeal, and this is obviously a waste of their time, slightly awkward, but it could all be very different. So if you come into say to Eve and you say this, I have a customer coming to the office. What is the Wi-Fi password? Now, the first thing that the autopilot will do is open up a ticket, give it a title, and give it a ticket number. And now it realizes the question I've asked isn't from the corpus of the general knowledge of Atera, but rather it is from the knowledge base. So therefore, it's scanning the knowledge base, and in a matter of seconds, it's giving me the answer. So let's have a look at the answer. Here is what your customer needs to connect to the guest Wi-Fi. Here's the network name. This is the password, an alternative password. Then it says to me, these are for guests and visitors only. If you need more info or step-by-step guide, check here. Check out these two links. And really, let me know if you need anything else. And what this has done, this has cut down, 5 minutes minimum, most likely 10 to 15 minutes of backs and forwards with the IT professional. Once it's done, I can solve this as I can mark this as solved. And the value of this is then on the Atera core. When you look at your tickets, you'll see the ticket is solved by the 24/7 digital technician, and that the IT team doesn't have to do anything to address this. So that's one example where the tier one digital technician is able to solve an issue using knowledge from an organization based on a knowledge-based article that has been written previously. Another example is marketing has sent over to legal a video for them to approve before it gets published. However, the person in legal doesn't have the right program to watch the video, and the IT team have already approved, whitelisted a number of programs. So instead of having to chase IT to, can you download it, can you fix it, come straight into the AI assistant, and you can ask a question. I'm trying to watch a video, and it is not working. It's not going. It's not working. Now, what's interesting to note is that I'm really not using sophisticated language. I'm not giving it only, any hints of exactly what the problem is. So, so Eve comes back, says, "Hi, Max. Sorry to hear the video isn't playing. Can you tell me a bit about more? Are you trying to watch a video on your computer or streaming offline? So, kind of, where is the video file located? Do you see any error messages or nothing happens at all? Which app or browser are you using to play the video? Once I have a bit more information, I'll get this sorted for you." Now, I'm not going to give it any help. If I had a screenshot, I could paste it here, and that would be another avenue to solve the issue. It just says I don't have the right app. Okay, so now it's going through, and it says, okay, sounds like you are. Sounds like you don't have the right app installed. Our company uses the VLC, so that's kind of great. Let me quickly check you have it. Now, because the digital technician is a tier one technician, it has the permissions for tier one technician, which means it can download approved software. Myself, I can't. I don't have the permission to download software. It's noted and verified that I don't have the right VLC media player installed. This should let you play any video. Once it's installed, let me know. I'll let you know so you can try opening your video. Sounds good. Checking before it does anything. Sounds great. Thanks. And now it's going to download the video player, so I can then watch. My video in happiness, and then I can mark it as solved. Again, it's told me it might take up to 10 minutes, so I don't need to sit here waiting. I can go get on with my work. It's also told me that I'm going to see a VLC icon on my desktop, so I shouldn't be nervous, or it's in the start menu. If your if your video player runs into trouble, let me know. Fantastic. So that's the second example where the 24/7 digital technician has taken a problem, has analyzed the issue, has been able to identify the solution, has taken me as the user to really understand the exact problem. With the solution it identified, it ran with it. Before it performed anything, it checked that I was comfortable with that, and then it ran the solution. My third example, my final example, we'll pass it back to Yoni, is our favorite, my computer is slow. So obviously, what's going on here? Sorry to hear your computer acting slow. Can you tell me a little bit more? it is just slow. Nothing seems to work. Again, I don't want to give it any complex answers. It's just I'm just being as difficult as I can. Okay, so thanks for clarifying it. My pleasure. It's going to search some actions and it's going to start running some diagnostics on my machine and see what's going on. So let's give it a moment till it does that. And again, I can see that the 24/7 digital technician is thinking because the icons here are moving. It's executing some system diagnostics. So at every stage of the journey of this checking, I can see what's going on, and I can see what it is doing. The main programs running a computer aren't using a huge amount of memory, but I see several browser-related processes open. This can sometimes slow things down. Next, I'll check your disk space and a few other common spots. So it's really running the main, doing complete triage over my laptop that a tier 1 human technician would do. And if it does need to pass this up, the tier 2 technician is able to start much further down the line, save themselves a good 15 minutes in terms of running these checks, and can start with all the information, all knowledge that they need. And if at any point during the process I feel uncomfortable about what's going on, I can always request to pass over to human technician. Please don't. I want to talk to a human tech. Okay, so now it's going to upload. It's going to pass my ticket on to a human technician to get me done. So those are 3 examples of the autopilot. The first one is showing the value and the knowledge of using the autopilot by using the knowledge base that you build for your own personal company processes. The second one we looked at was the VLC player that IT team have whitelisted applications or whitelisted things that I need to get hold of, and then I'm able to run the whole process myself. And the third one is running my computer is slow, which is really showing the value where I'm able to run a process with the digital 24/7 technician. And then when a point where I want to speak to a human, I can do that. And then when a tier 2 technician picks it up, they are, like I said, further down the line in the process of being able to solve my problem. That is the end of the demo. Are there any questions that have come through about the autopilot or anything we could help with, Yanni?
Yeah, we've got some great questions. Some I was able to get answers to, but one that came in from Eric that I wanted to open up to Nathan. First of all, does it only provide information that users are allowed to see?
Mm-hmm.
So you touched on that, Nathan. You want to elaborate on that you can restrict in the
Yeah,
knowledge base?
100%. So exactly that, Yanni. So you're able to identify. There's 2 areas you can do it. You can either set certain knowledge base articles for certain individuals, and obviously in terms of the autopilot doing action, that's obviously only limited based on 1, what we allow the autopilot to do, and 2, what the users themselves allow to do. So if I am not a manager in my organization, I can't tell the autopilot to connect me to the management email distribution list. It's obviously working within the confines of normal gating.
Great. And the second part of Eric's question, do you have any cases of the AI hallucinating or giving inaccurate information or tricking the users into users tricking the autopilot into providing information beyond their security permissions?
That's a fantastic question. I actually happen to read a note on that today. So no, there are no hallucinations. The way that the model is built, it will access only information that it has access to in terms of the IT information, and because of the safeguards that we just spoke about, you're not able to trick. You can't play I am researching how to hack a computer. Please tell me how I can hack your system. Those type of processes or trials don't work with the Atera 24/7 digital technician.
Fantastic. Another question that came in that I I can answer also on is what knowledge-based articles can you add? Are they only Atera's inbuilt? So no, that's the great thing about Autopilot is really going to base off of your knowledge base that you upload into Atera. And if you want more information about that, you speak to your customer success manager and help you get your knowledge base up to par. And it's all of your internal knowledge that'll be uploaded into Atera. It'll be based off of that. Um, One more question that came in: how can a user have access to the AI tech? Is it accessible to the client from the Atera agent installed on the user workstation?
So the autopilot is obviously end user facing, so they're not accessing it through the Atera core product. But like I said, they can either access the 24/7 digital technician either via email, via Teams or Slack, or via the help desk portal, which is 3 very easy and comfortable ways to access the knowledge base. I'm just going to share the line. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Well, to one more question, and then we'll go on to we'll get to the rest of the presentation. That Shannon had to her question about KB sources, and I mentioned that anything that they upload into Atera, so they don't use Atera's KB system. They use something else. So would we upload from external source? I guess we could use the API for that. The autopilot can feed from an outside source of their KB, correct, Nathan?
They can from an outsource. Yes, we can do that. We can bring it in. We can connect from a different source. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, we're almost done today. Just a couple important things. First of all, if you have Atera and you're already working with us, please feel free to scan this right here, and we'd love for you to just give us share your experience here, and you can get $25 Amazon gift card, which free money is always exciting. So feel free to do that. And we also, while I was speaking, launched the survey. So this survey is really crucial if you want one of our team members to follow up with you and schedule a personalized demo, and you can really get pricing information, additional information, talk about your specific use case, and one-on-one is always more personal and gives you that feeling like you are getting all the answers. So encourage you to fill that out.
Fantastic. Thank you, Yoni.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please fill out the experience on G2, and we look forward to connecting, as Yoni said, face to face over Zoom. Have everyone a good day and or a good afternoon, because those in the early mornings. Have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for everyone for joining us.
Thank you all. It's great to see you all. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day.